This is WKYT This Morning.
Happy Tuesday and good morning to you. I'm Michelle Chamberlain.
And I'm Bill Bryant, and Kentucky mornings start right here on WKYT, including chilly ones, like we have today. Yes. It is Tuesday, April 5th, and we're glad you're with us.
Now at 6, a well-known Kentucky lawyer at the center of a congressional investigation is now in jail. We're live with details on the arrest of attorney Eric Kahn.
That developing story this morning. Also, all 5 people on board a sightseeing helicopter were killed in a crash near the Great Smoky Mountains. We have some new information.
Pretty chilly conditions outside this morning. We're in the 30s and some freezing spots. We head throughout your afternoon. It's going to be a cool day. I mean, we're in the upper 40s to lower 50s later on. And then we look toward tomorrow. Here comes another front. I'm going to be talking about that coming up.
All right, we'll see you in a bit. Let's get to the news.
A well-known Eastern Kentucky attorney accused of defrauding the federal government has been arrested.
Eric Kahn was picked up by the police last night in Floyd County, and he's expected to be arraigned today in federal court. He's being held this morning for the FBI. WKYT's Mark Barber is at the federal courthouse in Lexington to explain the new information that we have learned overnight. Mark, good morning.
Good morning, Bill. We have learned that Eric Kahn will appear in court today, but it is still unclear whether he will be in court here in Lexington or in Pike County. Now, the Eastern Kentucky disability attorney who has been jailed this morning, we've learned that he's facing a number of charges, including money laundering as well as conspiracy to commit mail fraud. Now, Kahn was in court last July when a federal judge dismissed most of the claims that he used fraudulent information to win Social Security benefits for hundreds of his clients. The allegations of fraud led the Social Security Administration to suspend his clients' benefits. The agency has since reversed their decision. Kahn said he did not do anything wrong. He was never charged with a crime in the case. Then last night, the attorney was arrested in Pike County, this time on a number of charges. Kahn is accused of making false statements, destroying records in a federal case, laundering money, conspiring to commit mail fraud and wire fraud, conspiring to retaliate against a witness, and conspiring to structure currency transactions. He is being held for U.S. Marshals in the Pike County Detention Center. No bond has yet been set. And again, this morning, there's still no word whether he will appear in court here in Fayette County or in Pike County. Live in Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Mark, thank you very much. Obviously, we'll be following that story through the day. And new this morning, a man was rushed to the hospital after police say he was shot in the neck. That happened around midnight this morning on Venetian Circle. That's off of Appian Way. Police say they're not sure if the man shot himself or if he was shot by someone else. He was rushed to the hospital with life-threatening injuries.
In Richmond, the Red Cross is helping a woman whose home was damaged in an overnight fire. That fire started around 11:30 on Forest Hill Drive. Firefighters say the woman who lives there was at work at the time of the fire. The roof of the house has a lot of damage, but firefighters do not think the home is a total loss. It's a popular destination for many vacationing Kentuckians. This morning, we're learning more about a sightseeing helicopter that crashed in the Smoky Mountains.
A sad situation, certainly. That helicopter crashed and then it burst into flames between Pigeon Forge and Sevierville. And all 5 people on board were killed. WKYT's Mike Byer is working that story for us. He is at our live desk with an update on this story. Mike?
It's just a tragic story, Bill, coming out of Tennessee. Officials say 5 people are dead after the helicopter they were on crashed near the Great Smoky Mountains National Park in Sevier County. We've learned from WVLT that the group was on a sightseeing ride as part of a popular tourist activity. Now, the names of the people killed have not been released at this time. The Federal Aviation Administration says the Bell 206 sightseeing helicopter crashed around 3:30 yesterday afternoon in Pigeon Forge. Officials say there's not much left in the wreck scene as the helicopter was destroyed by fire after the crash. Investigators say the helicopter appeared to have come down the side of a mountain and crashed at the foot of it. As a result, a fire started at the crash scene and began spreading up the mountain. Now, several investigators from the National Transportation Safety Board are on scene trying to determine what caused the sightseeing helicopter to crash. At the live desk, Mike Byer, WKYT.
All right, Mike, thank you very much. 2 people were injured in Lexington when a car crashed into some construction equipment. Police say a car lost control on New Circle Road and hit an excavator near Old Frankfort Pike. Part of that excavator was wedged into the passenger side of the car. Both the driver and the passenger were taken to the hospital. Police say the excavator was parked and was not in use at the time of the crash. but construction work was set to begin right around the time of that crash. And on the other side of town, a car crashed into a truck, sending a boat sailing down a trailer. The crash also damaged a utility pole at Manowar and Trent Boulevard. One person in the car had some minor injuries there.
Kroger and Lucky's Market have announced a partnership. Kroger says it's investing in Lucky's to help the store grow faster and new and existing markets. Now, currently, Lucky's has 17 stores in 13 states, including one right here in Lexington. The specialty grocery store is focused on natural, organic, and locally grown products. The terms of the deal have not been released. He went home with some hardware after the Academy of Country Music Awards.
But did you notice that Chris Stapleton's new commercial for Dodge Ram trucks is also running? In that ad, the Johnson County native drives through his hometown of Paintsville. The commercial was shot last month when Stapleton played a free concert at Johnson Central High School. So going back home and now, letting everybody kind of see where he's from there.
Now, your zone-by-zone forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
I think a lot of people forget that he has written several #1 hits for other artists. So, I mean, he's really been killing it the past several years. That is for sure there in Nashville. Defender Radar Network, we're looking across the region and looking over in Johnson County, his home county, and looking pretty good in terms of anything falling out of the sky. But when you're talking about freeze warning in effect, yeah, it's very chilly, and that goes for virtually all locations. There's only 2 counties in our viewing area, and that goes for sitting there in Adair County and Russell County that are not in the freeze warnings. Nonetheless, you guys are kind of close to it. We're at 33 in Monticello, 34 there in Danville. A lot of us, I don't see many of us actually hitting that 32-degree reading or below, even with the freeze warning. Reason being, we have the cloud cover overhead, and with that cloud cover, heads up, because if you're looking northbound and eastbound, we could have a couple of flurries flying around. There's no doubt about that. Don't be surprised to see it. It's not going to affect you, but don't be surprised to see it. 49 degrees by the afternoon with a mixture of sun and clouds. Today's not a bad looking day. We'll start to get those clouds on out of the way later on. And we'll see mostly sunny skies at 49 off into the evening and in overnight back in the 30s, but not as cold. Then we're looking toward Friday and into your weekend. Watch this as we get Friday and Saturday. This has been pushed back just a little bit. Remember, yesterday we didn't have any chance of snow there on Saturday. Now looks like there is going to be a chance of snow. The reason being is the system's slowing down just a bit. And we're going to see changes as we go through time. Remember, it's 4 to 5 days out. So watching this on Friday into your Saturday, look at that. We're looking not at 8 inches, but 0.8. There are points, there are decimal points in front of all these. So just keep in mind, it's very light snow, but it's snow nonetheless. And that goes for opening day of Keeneland off into your weekend. It's not going to be the best time for that. We got baseball games going on. We got a lot happening during that time, and hopefully it's not going to be too bad as we look down toward the southeast. Look at this particular model showing up 1+ inch. There in Harlan County, Jackson, Prestonsburg, off toward Whitesburg. Those areas will be needed to watch because we're getting that northwest flow, and that typically brings us a little snow in the forecast.
There you go. If I were a horse at Keeneland and I were snowed on, I think I'd run faster, wouldn't you?
Never stop. Yeah. Just keep going, man. Just keep making that loop. That's for sure.
Oh, all right. Well, we'll see how it goes out there. But it's going to be, take your coats if you're going out to the spring meet. It is 6:08 right now, and every morning right here we bring you weather and traffic together. Here's Officer Don with a look at what's happening out there. Good morning, Don.
Good morning, gang. Well, we just had a first look at the construction zone on Todd's Road. Crews are getting set to work there on the widening project this morning while they can, but no delays just yet. Police are running radar near Todd's and Forest Hill. Let's get a look outside. We'll show you overall traffic flow this morning on the circle, the interstate, and everything inbound still looks okay. Drive times should be a normal ride in if you're coming in from Jessamine County, Nicholasville across the county line past Brandon Crossing looks pretty good. No problems right now coming in from Winchester. Dealing with about 22 minutes, and from Richmond, 32. We'll keep you up to date. Now back to you in the studio.
Okay, Don, thank you so much. 6:09 on WKYT this morning. It's your Tuesday, and let's make it a terrific one. What do you say?
I say that sounds good to me, Bill. Today's Wisconsin primary could be a turning point in the race for the White House. Reaction from the campaign trail in 3 minutes.
Kentucky mornings start here. You're watching WKYT this morning.
Good morning to you and welcome back in at 6:13, and we are glad you're along here on your Tuesday. We're getting it off and rolling. Primary voters are heading to the polls in Wisconsin today to decide who should be their party's presidential nominee.
On the Republican side, 42 delegates are up for grabs. For Democrats, 86 delegates are at stake, and the latest polls are spelling trouble for frontrunners on both sides. Don Champion has the latest on campaign 2016.
On the eve of the critical Wisconsin primary, Ted Cruz reminded supporters what's at stake.
A victory here tomorrow will resonate across this country, will change the outcome in states to come all across this country.
A Cruz win today will increase the chances of a contested GOP convention in July. The latest CBS News poll shows him ahead of Donald Trump by 6 points in the state. Monday, Trump's wife Melania made a rare appearance on the campaign trail, trying to rally support.
No matter who you are, a man or a woman, he treats everyone equal.
We have millions more votes than Cruz. We've beaten him in most of the states.
On the Democratic side, Hillary Clinton all but conceded Wisconsin Monday. Her campaign sent out a fundraising email saying, quote, "We're down in almost every poll in Wisconsin. Tomorrow's primary is going to be a tough fight." Bernie Sanders hopes today gives him momentum.
If we win here, we're going to have a bounce going into New York State, where I think we can win.
Clinton still holds a significant lead over Sanders in delegates, but lags far behind him in fundraising. Don Champion, CBS News.
Now the polls close in Wisconsin at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Clinton and Sanders have agreed to debate each other next week in New York, which holds its primary April 19th.
Federal investigators are expected to interview surviving members of an Amtrak construction crew following Sunday's deadly train derailment outside of Philadelphia. Authorities say Amtrak train 89 was going more than 100 miles per hour when it slammed into a backhoe on the tracks, killing 2 Amtrak workers. Amtrak says it is working with the NTSB to identify issues that led up to the accident.
Your time now is 6:17. Alaska Air is buying Virgin America for $2.6 billion, creating the country's 5th largest airline. What does that mean for travelers? It's too soon to tell. Analysts say more consolidation in the industry means fewer bargains. Although the new merged company would compete with bigger airlines like United and Delta, which means it could force them to lower prices. Toyota is expanding its partnership with Microsoft, forming a new company called Toyota Connected. The goal is to simplify technology and research ways to connect cars to homes and to develop new facial recognition technology. Amazon is about to roll out a new top-of-the-line Kindle, the 8th generation. Analysts say sales of Kindles and other e-book readers have slowed down, in part because the price of e-books has gone up. Now, some requests from Kindle users on Twitter are asking for a color screen and a waterproof device. Dunkin' Donuts has announced it will open 29 new restaurants. Dunkin' Donuts has opened 25 restaurants in California and plan to open more than 430 restaurants nationwide this year. And the next time you buy something at Apple, you probably won't be taking it home in one of the company's iconic white drawstring bags. Now, Apple is reportedly going green, phasing out the plastic in exchange for paper bags made from 80% recycled material. I think that's a great idea.
All right. Well, our time this morning is 6:18 on WKYT, and we're just getting started with all the latest news as we get you ready for the day ahead. Some really smart kids put down their Easter eggs to help police catch 2 suspects. See how they did it. It's coming up in about 6 minutes after weather.
We have the 30s out and about for today, at least this morning. By the afternoon, well below average temperatures. And then we look for the rain tomorrow and then snow later on this work week. I'll have that coming up next.
And we look outside this morning at Lexington Green and the Joseph Beth booksellers over there. Quiet this morning, but of course getting ready to go in the day ahead. And we hope you make it a great Tuesday. Stay with us now on WKYT.
Good morning. Welcome back to WKYT this morning. Your time is 6:22. Eastern Kentucky attorney Eric Kahn is in jail being held by the FBI.
That's what's trending at this hour. Kahn was the target of a 2013 congressional investigation and is accused of using fraudulent information to secure disability benefits for his clients. He is expected to be arraigned in federal court today when we'll know more.
Lexington police say a man has life-threatening injuries after being shot in the neck last night on Venetian Circle off Appian Way. At this point, police think the shooting was an accident.
The Red Cross is helping out the woman whose home caught fire last night on Forest Hill Drive in Richmond. The roof of the house has a lot of damage. Firefighters do not think the loss it will be a complete and total loss, but major damage there. All right, very chilly this morning. We're in the 30s virtually everywhere. Here's meteorologist Micah Harris.
And with the cloud cover overhead, that's helping us out. That's keeping us a little bit warmer than where we could be if we did not have the clouds. And so the cloud cover not only keeping us warmer, but it's also maybe throwing off a few flurries here and there. Northern zones, eastern zones, it's a possibility. Just don't be surprised as you walk out the door. Temperatures aren't that bad. Remember, yesterday we were talking about that freeze warning, still talking about that this morning, but most areas will actually stay above freezing. Reason being, the cloud cover overhead, 34 degrees now at Mount Sterling. These numbers really have not budged since I've been here early this morning. And we track off into the afternoon and we'll be right around 49 to about 52 degrees. It'll be much cooler than yesterday. Yesterday we actually finished off mid to upper 60s and even a couple locations right around 70 degrees. And it looks like we're going to be looking ahead of time there for the focus of the forecast, the cold air, the rain for tomorrow, along with those very gusty winds, and also the snow chances, not one chance, but two chances. That's going to be on Friday off into your Saturday, guys. But as of right now, it doesn't look like a big deal, but it's definitely something to watch as we go throughout the next 3 to 5 days.
Well, good. Attention getting cold, no doubt about that.
One
right?
chance is enough.
That's
One
exactly right.
Is enough.
It's 6:24 on your Tuesday morning, and thousands of jellyfish have all of a sudden washed ashore on Florida's Hallandale Beach. That's near Fort Lauderdale.
Now, the creatures are nicknamed blue sailors. The good news for beachgoers is these jellyfish do not sting. The bad news is they often travel with Portuguese man-o-war, which do sting. Strong winds apparently caught the jellyfish, dragging them ashore. City officials say it happens every few years. Look at that.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Take a look at this Easter egg hunt now. Take a closer look right here. Police are actually pursuing 2 burglary suspects through a field.
And the kids saw the suspects running, so they formed a human arrow to point the police chopper in the right direction. Pretty cool, huh? With that help, police were able to catch up with both suspects.
Smart kids.
Really, they were thinking. And it's a spring staple in the French Quarter.
The sounds of screaming for the finale of the Tennessee Williams Literary Festival. Oh, we gotta do that here. I bet Micah would do that for us.
Yeah, right.
The final shout is from this year's winner, Joel Darby. Congratulations to him and the other stellar contestants.
Lots of drama, huh?
Oh my goodness.
All right.
You'd have to take an aspirin after that.
I'll tell you, they have a scratchy throat after that. Hey,
no, from listening.
Oh, well,
Give
yeah.
me a headache.
Well, that's true, too. Yeah, you were just listening. Good to have you along at WKYT this morning, and we're back in a moment. You'll find out when family and friends will be able to pay their final respects to a Lexington native and her husband who were killed 2 weeks ago in that terrorism attack in Belgium.
Tonight's Mega Millions jackpot is $57 million, and Wednesday night's Powerball jackpot is $148 million.
All of our top stories are coming up on WKYT this morning.